I love Facebook. My favorite thing about Facebook now, because so few people are not on Facebook, is the new people to Facebook. They're new to the whole experience. Like my uncle, new to the whole Facebook thing, added me as a friend, but I could tell he had a Craigslist profile way before the Facebook profile, because his first Facebook status update was that he was down for a good time and into foot stuff. And then he tried to sell me a 30-gallon fish tank, so I was like...
Comedy in Omaha is on the rise. In the last 3 years, an upswelling of activity has sprung up, and the local scene is quickly growing a reputation.
It's weird when you're not like, I just had to take up swimming so people would stop wondering why I shaved my whole body. Like, it's weird. It's weird not having any hair. I didn't have armpit hair in high school at all.
In 2010, there were 4 open mics in the Omaha-Lincoln area. Today, there are over 14, and free open mic stage time can be found almost every night of the week. Local comedy groups like OK Party and Collabo Comedy host shows that feature everything from stand-up, two-man acts, and even long-form improv.
Since you're a barbarian, I brought you something.
Okay. What is it?
Omaha also has a strong club in the Omaha Funny Bone and festivals like Omaha Comedy Week and Cromfest. Local groups have also brought national acts like Doug Benson and Judah Friedlander to come showcase in Omaha. And at the heart of all this funny is the Facebook group Omaha Comedy Scene, the place where local comedians post news and updates about upcoming events and gigs. Created by local DJ Jim Morrison, the group now has 300 members from the greater Omaha area.
Probably about 2 years ago, maybe closer to 3 now. It was right like before, like when we started doing comedy at Shoot Your Mouth Off, there was like 2 open mics. Once I started seeing, after we started doing comedy, then like we had a couple other shows pop up, and I noticed it was starting to bud into a real scene. And I was like, well, we need a way to organize this, so that's why I threw it on the Facebook. Now there's a comedy show. I think there's 13 of them in town now, and so there's at least 1 a night, sometimes 2 or 3 a night.
Membership in Omaha Comedy Scene is open to anyone who submits a request, and comedians from other states can be found as well. Being that it's on Facebook, all anonymity is surrendered. When a member tries to pick a fight, everyone in the group sees it. An example of this took place on September 7th, 2013, when Dylan Rohde, an Omaha-based improv performer and founding member of the Backline Improv Theater, posted an advertisement for sketch writing classes he was selling for $100 a course. We have a top-notch sketch writer, Sean Conroy, Upright Citizens Brigade, coming in December for a sketch writing intensive. The best way to get accepted is to take Level 1 sketch writing by me starting this Wednesday. In the second comment of the post, a relatively unknown comedian from southeast Iowa, in what was probably his first post ever in the group, asked Dylan why he was qualified to teach a sketch writing class.
What are your credentials? I think you basically
Exactly.
Yeah, fair enough question, I thought.
If Michael had simply left it at that, his request would have seemed reasonable. But instead, he ended his comment by asking Dylan if he was just another money-hungry shyster trying to make a buck off someone else's dream. Not finished, Michael topped that comment by saying, "Truth be told, I could pour a can of alphabet soup into an enema bag, pound it up my ass with a tap hammer, and shit better writing than most comedy writers I've met." What happened next was incredible. The post generated over 460 comments. Some people defended Dylan, saying his classes were well worth the investment. Have you taken an improv class with Dylan?
I've been through all 5 levels with Dylan and 4B. So yeah, I've done every class he offers there. As well, I do guest workshops at Down.
Did all those classes, and it was a good time. I learned a lot. I was able to get a lot of stage time.
On Facebook, however, only 4% of the 469 comments actually defended Dylan. In addition to that, 8% of the comments were actual civil responses to Michael's question. By contrast, 59% of all the comments were personal attacks against Michael or jokes made at his expense.
Obviously, very quickly it escalated into just insanity.
Insanity that included Michael being photoshopped into various unflattering photos, as well as lots of vicious name-calling. But Michael wasn't totally innocent. Many of his posts intentionally antagonized the group.
Of course.
A joke about
It's insane. I mean,
Yeah.
that's insane.
But there were a few voices that called for reason, such as Heather Jones, asking that everyone on the group remain focused on supporting local comedy.
I wrote to some of the Iowa guys and said, do we take this guy seriously? They said, oh no, don't worry. I thought we were going down to his level by responding to that. And I forget who, I think it was, there was a comic in town. In fact, he was saying a few statements, and I messaged him privately. I said, listen, I like you. Don't go down to his level. You know what I mean? And he wrote back, you're right. You know, he goes, I was just trying to make fun. I'm like, exactly. Just don't even go there.
But the bickering continued, and soon Michael found himself fending off accusations of stealing jokes. Several Iowa comedians joined the conversation and corroborated the accusations against Michael. Accusations like this one, which started off in what seemed like an apology to Michael, but instead accused Michael of lifting jokes directly from Bob Saget and posted 2 clips side by side. I'll show you both clips and let you decide for yourself.
I'm a happy guy because I got married. Married my girlfriend of 7 years. That's her age. I'm going to jail. No, I did. I really am in love.
And now Michael's version.
You'll have to bear with me, folks. I'm a little bit off my game tonight. I broke up with my girlfriend of 12 years yesterday. Well, I had to break up with her. Turns out it's a felony to sleep with a girl that young.
Michael's response? What can I say? I was caught with my slip showing. I don't ever remember seeing this video, but that joke is now officially out of my act. In the end, Michael became the first person to ever be banned from Omaha Comedy Scene, 6 days after his initial comment. As the moderator of the group, Jim Morrison made the decision to ban Michael forever.
Where the guy just was relentlessly trying to cause problems, it seemed to me, and I was told by several other people within the scene, you know, that, you know, this guy shouldn't be part of this group. He's causing issues, and he's caused issues in other groups, and I verified that information, found out it was the truth, and so therefore, you know, that was the one person I think I've ever, you know, blocked from that group.
But what kind of impression does this episode make of the Omaha Comedy Scene? Some would say it casts this group in a pretty negative light. Or maybe it just says something about people on Facebook in general. Despite having your name and picture next to every comment you make, the possibility of getting punched in the face is removed. Perhaps that's why online comments often lack a certain civility. But Omaha Comedy Scene was meant to be a force for good. When Jim Morrison first created the page on Facebook, he wrote a sort of manifesto for the group, stating that its most important goal was to build the Omaha Comedy Scene. And this isn't the only example of a fight on the Omaha Comedy Scene. Arguments occasionally break out that tend to polarize the entire group. But this argument was different. There was a rare moment of unity. The collective hate of an entire group directed towards one person brought the entire scene together. Probably not the way Jim Morrison had intended, but the webpage brought the group together nonetheless.
The nicest thing was literally the cliques that don't get along in Omaha for once had an outside enemy and got along. Like, that was the weirdest part.
Todd Dillon perhaps put it best, telling Michael, "I just want to say, Snuggle Tits, that you've really brought Omaha comedians together through this. So kinda thanks." Thank you indeed, Michael. Thank you indeed.